All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Pluto,
episode 8.
All right.
Bora.
Yeah, Bora. The terrifying shadow looming over this entire show since the beginning.
Yep.
We almost forgot about it, and now it's here, and now it might all be over.
Yeah, a world-ending robot. Okay.
A world-ending robot. What is it? Whose is it? Why is it here?
Is there any way to stop it?
Is there any way to stop it? There's a lot of things that are left up in the air right now, but all in all, the fact that this series did so much in the 7 episodes, and now this 8th one is going to end it all, and even with all the dead characters and one recently revived, it's probably going to come down to humanity's creations just deciding our fate.
Yeah, and maybe getting help from an unlikely ally.
Yeah. Classic, but I want all the pain, all the anguish of these characters to be on full display through these robots. Doing battle or doing
whatever
doing
they're
a
going to be
conversation or some kind of mix or combination of the two. I want it in its entirety. I kind of want almost us to be spoken to directly, like almost like kind of fourth wall breaking wise, because I feel like this story has basically painted a really beautiful picture of loss and what we as human beings are maybe can trick ourselves into believing we're willing to lose in our pursuit of the light, the fire,
or even
the
just
special thing,
deceiving ourselves into thinking that it's not being lost, right? Like especially with the real world inspirations for this show.
Yeah. There's a lot of specific stuff that's being focused on here, and while the story is very much telling its own narrative with regards to these individual robots and humans trying to make sense of how do we move forward when we're accelerating as a species so quickly.
What happens in the world after this, because you've gotten rid of all of the like top of the line robots other than Adam, because Adam's back, but like let's say Bora's stopped, what does that mean really?
Will humanity basically learn what it needed to from this whole experience here?
Here I was thinking, the lie that robots can't harm humans is going to be called into question. No,
that's so blatantly.
That's so far.
So
not
blatantly.
Even
not even a question.
And yet that was such a cornerstone of this society that regardless of what happens with Bora,
with Brow 1589.
Regardless of what happens with Bora, this world is going to be forever changed.
And in some ways I like that all our heroes other than Adam are dead, and in some ways Adam is also kind of dead still. Because it's not that Adam was brought back, it's that something more that truly exemplifies humanity might actually have been brought back. And I'm excited for that to be explored. And then maybe also just kind of tying in all the little loose ends, because there's a lot of little ones here and there that don't really need to be like fully explained, but kind of more collected and brought together in some amalgamation, like a cry of humans,
What I want to see after this,
singing their sorrow song,
is I want to see the arc of Astro Boy that inspired this one. Because is like the idea of Bora as like an enemy for Astro Boy to fight. That feels very like classic. Yes, you've now got the giant robot, and then the plucky kid is gonna save everybody.
I think this is more of there was an inspiration probably done with regards to the fact that in this case Adam dies basically.
Yes, that seems like
it's a very clear just kind of what's the consequence of losing your heroes basically, and then they adapted this to be there's a bunch of robots that are basically the icons, the heroes. They fall, they die, and what's the fallout of that?
Right, because I feel like with two stories, you can then see like you've got 2 points to make a clearer line of like the things that were seen in the original, and then it's like, okay, let's extract those themes and, you know, highlight them and all that stuff.
Because the big like mystery also like plot wise for me that hasn't been fully like addressed here is Bora was a representation of a committee of people in the earlier parts of the show.
Right.
And those people were getting killed, but they were like an oversight like committee,
right?
Specifically to like manage Bora, basically. But now we know that that kid who had the Bora, you know, was right. That is Bora. Well, then Bora is not necessarily like it's not necessarily like some godlike creation or something like that. It's something. It's just a weapon. Like it's
Well, and that's where I think the poetry of it comes back, is that it's saying Bora is the middle finger to the world that basically said, hey, we're going to use this committee to say we're justified in, you know, destroying your civilization, right? You know, and so now it's the, okay, we're going to do the same thing right back at you. It don't feel good, does it? You know?
Right, but that's the thing I think that's been maybe twisted here a little bit is I'm wanting to know basically who specifically is controlling Bora. Is Bora actually just being controlled by Bora? Or is this something where, because of the way Bora was used to like crush Persia basically as this like overwhelming weapon here, then it's the did they work so hard to make sure that they could take control of Bora?
Yeah, that's a good point, because
because
with the way that it seems to be set up here, this is the kind of thing where I would think that this is the weapon made for retribution, but Bora was shown during that war, and so like, if it's that, no, we did actually have this robot the whole time, then that actually lends credence to the invasion.
Right.
Now, granted, it might have been the thing of, we made this robot, but, you know, we were trying to build a society of robots. We were never intending it for it to be this, you know, weapon of mass destruction. But that makes it a bit more understandable that people would be like, Chotomate, you know, what are you doing over there?
And that's where like most of my thoughts regarding Bora are still in theory territory here.
And the finale being a, you know, hour-plus episode, that's something that they'll be able to get into in, you know, plenty of detail to clear up.
I would like that specifically because the amount of stuff that we got to give us a connection to Pluto gets me very hopeful about the inhumane aspects of Bora compared to the humanity of Pluto.
Which would then
because I want Pluto to be the hero, basically.
Same.
Yeah. But y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh. ナナブーは数頭の馬と黄金を交換しました。黄金の噂はあっという間に広がり、そして最後にはマナボンゾさんまで追い詰められ、その過去に次々と捧げました。巨人は火の山の奥深くに眠り、いつしかそれは蘇るという伝説がここエデン国立公園に伝わっています。
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, what's actually underneath? Wow.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Well,
yep.
All right.
Adam. Yep.
Oh. We'll find out.
Just running some programs, you know, just
thinking, processing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's drawing, yeah.
Oh. I thought it was going to be something a lot more chaotic.
Uh-huh.
Like, her response is what's actually freaking me out. Oh. Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Well,
you figured that out. So now what are you gonna do?
yep.
Yeah, maybe don't bring weapons into the equation.
Wow. Nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice.
There it is.
Well, and what I love about that is that it adds some nice contradiction to this situation because he's simultaneously planned the way to wipe out the world, and yet Gezicht's final moments were, you know, trying to protect his killer.
Yeah. Whoa. Fuck.
Okay.
Whoa. So they've got some big AI kind of thing here. Just.
I love that the way it manifests itself, or like, you know, the puppet it uses to speak is just a little teddy bear.
It's just to make him feel comfortable, probably.
Sure. Oh, this is just straight up monster. Let's go. Do you step on it or not?
I love the way you can see Gezicht's eyes in the. Yeah. Yeah. Shit. Wow. Yep.
Talking to the kid.
Wow, I love that he's just talking to the kid here. This is he's always wanted to be a dad, and yeah. Shit. Oh.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought that was going to go a lot worse, like, given that this is something that Adam's thinking about while he's like this. Or maybe this is him struggling against all the hatred that was injected into him.
Or
you know?
just the kind of thing that, you know, guided a lot of who Gezicht was, you know,
Sure.
just in general. Maybe it's an idea, you know?
Sure. Oh, here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll let you have for 500 whatever.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
This is a core memory. Ah.
Oh, and it's still alive.
But it's also the same. This is the same model as the one that had the flower, remember? That's why they used it.
Uh-huh.
That's why they used it to mess with him, yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, let's get the shot.
Yeah. Oh, that piano.
Wow. We're gonna have a kid. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then this is that memory of he's walking.
And then, and then it ends up getting killed. Whoa.
Oh my god.
I just...
Nice, yeah.
And then... Well, yeah, we know
how this goes. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck. Yep. Yep. Connect it all back together.
Yep, we're getting all of this. Yeah,
Yep.
and then
bring it back here.
Yep.
Oh. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a message being sent into the future to Adam.
Right, so hatred was very much on his mind, but not in the way that people would think.
Right. And so you can't just crush it, no. Whoa, okay.
All right, so.
This Adam understands, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As crying. Oh, no, okay.
Just the rain.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
all right.
Okay.
Cool.
Not just I was so scared, but also just you're back, yeah.
And using the monster comparison, I love that the one who's like weak in this situation is the grown up.
Yeah.
Right? Adam's figured it out.
Mm-hmm. My little Ember just stays here and they refuse to move me because they're so scared, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. How would he know where Abula is?
Same way he knew when Adam woke up, maybe?
Well, I think that's because of Adam sends out a wave of that intelligence. It's not him actively, like, looking for
No, sure, but, like, if there's a similar kind of thing going on with, like, Pluto or, you know, things like that.
Right, but Abula wouldn't necessarily... Oh! Shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yep, he will find you. There you go. Had to wait until he came out of the maximum security facility.
Right, yeah. Obviously, we're not going to go after him in there.
Okay. Perfect. I love it. Let's go. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Needed a robot to create a robot, yeah.
Uh-huh. Hence also the dream that Zahad had.
Tenma. Yep. I wanted to show you our work.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That, like, disappointed look on his face.
Damn.
And that's coming from the guy who... Oh. Really?
Whoa.
Oh, and he's not meaning that in some philosophical way.
Yeah.
And does Abula know?
No.
Yeah, trust me, no one can tell better than me.
No, this is connected to,
Oh, you're the assistant that I made, not Pluto.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh. Whoa.
Damn.
Carrying out the same desire.
Mm-hmm. And all he's doing is just making it so that one unjust death didn't happen. Oh, it's specifically his hatred.
Yeah. Shit.
Okay.
is just a part of him.
I love that he didn't even realize that.
No.
Oh. Nice.
To itself. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways, I've always believed Goji was out Abula, but
for different reasons.
A lie.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Yeah, all the different things that were happening.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, the power dynamic shifting so definitively.
Fuck, man.
Shit.
All right, here we go. So now, to what degree does Thracia, involved with this?
It was probably an attack just to get access to Bora, to take it over, you know? Jeez. Meanwhile...
Okay.
No. This is gonna blot out the sun.
Yeah.
We will all die.
You ever heard of an ELE?
Yep. Oh, fuck. Yep.
Is Eden National Park like the Yellowstone equivalent or something?
Well, yeah, there's probably a lot of equivalents in the U.S. that are kind of like this, where it's the... If
this happened, it's not going to, but if it did happen, that'd be real bad. Why were we not told about this sooner?
Per hour.
Shit.
Yep. For how long?
Uh-huh.
Yep. We'll all just suffocate and die.
All right. Oh, I figured the bomb itself would just wipe out the planet. Okay, so Adam wasn't even designing the bomb for the purpose of detonating it. It's the, okay, yes, this could happen.
What's the matter?
Yeah.
Yeah. All biological life. Yeah. We'll take care of you.
Because you guys will maintain us. I like that this is the way that it's happening, though. It's not just because, large robot, therefore, you know.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hence why Bora's the only way it could happen.
Yeah. And it's a planet shaping, like a terraforming robot. So
Right,
moving
so
underground is what it does.
And through magma and everything, it's like, yeah, that's no problem. Let's get me some help.
Oh. Brow.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, okay, so he was actually considering it.
Yeah. Oh, I need you to kill. If I let you out.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
the teddy bear suddenly turns to the president. Excuse me, actually, I'm in danger.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh my god, we got Brow, Adam, and Pluto team up?
Yeah. Oh.
That little hesitation, but...
But that same kind of thing is like the need for human touch between people, but this is robots. It hasn't had physical contact with one of its kind in, yeah.
You're warm.
Right. Also the evolution of its own species. The fact that it was an inconvenient evolutionary cycle for everyone else.
Yeah.
And here Adam is that crystallized and accepted and in balance.
Oh. Just going about a regular life, yeah. She felt it because it was the brainwaves of...
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's just here, so... Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Nice. Did we have a... Will you lie? Yep. Yep. No. And that's Gezicht's desire too. He doesn't want her to know. All lies.
That was a cool effect on the angle. Yeah. Yeah, she could tell.
You lied to me like 3 times. Yeah. About being able to see you again, about everything, but yeah, thank you.
That was beautiful. Repeating it just like the lie.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So that's Pluto.
Oh.
Is Pluto just already there?
Yeah, I was kind of confused by that.
Yeah. Oh, is Pluto told to basically protect this site?
Yeah, probably.
Shit.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah, I felt that.
That's a shot.
Yeah. Oh, just going
nice.
All there.
Remember each of them.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
My hand's about to explode.
Oh.
I will give you receipts for all of them, and you're not going to stop me.
Yeah.
And now, just like the kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't have an arm.
Yeah.
So when you tell me that you don't want to die,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's kind of the idea at this point. Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're close. Let's go.
All right.
Oh, they're all gonna reach out to Adam from within Pluto.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Every single one.
Uh-huh. Yeah, now we hear it. Tears even while it stands up to fight.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. That's beautiful imagery.
Yeah. Yeah, they found it.
Yep. So, we still have this Bora issue.
Yeah.
Oh, but they just chill there for a bit. I love it.
Well, they have like 72 or 48 hours at this point. So, yeah.
Oh, the music.
There's excitement and hope, but also terror in it. Like, jeez. Mm-hmm. But the two of them together.
I was really hoping that, like, or this could still theoretically happen, even though it's totally not. But like a fist bump between the two of them as they let go to stop Bora.
You've spent. Wow.
Go out and touch grass. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter whether I'm here or somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Huh.
I love that we don't even get the backstory for how this specific robot came about.
I think it's just
it happened because
Gracia basically just made them basically to be in this way so that they could gain power.
Yep.
And now their own power is coming back to basically be like, yeah, you thought you were in control here? No.
Of course not.
No. Whoa, what a set piece for a finale.
Yep.
Oh, it's like a baby.
Oh, yeah. I came from hatred.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Nice visual representation of that. Let's go.
And that's what a level of trust too.
Yeah.
Right? Giving the means to destroy humanity to the harbinger of vengeance against humanity.
Yeah. Get your parts back.
Well, and also the disconnected hands and stuff coming in to help feels very Epsilon.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. You saved Adam. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All I'm hearing is, I am not a gun.
Yep. Fuck yeah.
All right.
I govern the dead.
Uh-huh. Right.
You will govern the living. Whoa! Fuck.
All right.
So it's going to be a minor eruption then.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big one, but...
Yeah.
Oh!
That is beautiful. All right.
Wow.
Ah.
What?
Oh, shit.
Froze all the magma!
But also,
Yeah.
you wanted to make a field of flowers.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like a beacon of light for all of humanity. Like, did you realize?
No, and
you see
even
it
better.
now?
And it's created literally in the heart of your enemies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, go outside. Yeah, you were in your lab for too long. Good.
And he can't see it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe be a little more honest with yourself.
How boring. Oh, that's so terrifying.
And then Brow comes in. I love that this is Brow that's going to be doing it. And he's not here to kill the president. I mean, that might happen, too.
That might kill him, too. Fuck.
That one's for Brow, you know. No, you don't understand.
You don't get it, yeah. Oh, lets him live. Holy shit.
Fuck yeah. Oh
this
my
one's
God.
For you. that was, yes. Chef's kiss. Beautiful.
If I ever make a Droid or Warforged character, they're named Brow 1589.
Oh. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
And Sahad, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Even though it's just the one horn, I love that one of the horns is here. You know, as the callback to the mark of how Pluto would, like, kill its victims.
All right, y'all. We just finished a masterpiece. That was
incredible.
Perfect. I had most of my things that I wanted come out of this episode, and I had a few things that I didn't know I even wanted, but I got anyway.
Yeah. So
yes.
there was so much win in this, you know, that I feel like we almost just have to go through it linearly, because otherwise,
there's just too much.
There's too much, right?
Too much.
Like I could end up forgetting about some of the awesome from this episode because it was so packed with awesome.
Yeah. So first things first, I want to focus on the way in which Gezicht, I forget how to pronounce his name properly, but his memory chip being placed in Pluto as a specific limited plot, item point for Pluto's insertion there. It wasn't just, I took general ideas of hatred and all that. No, Tenma put Gezicht's memory chip in there because he already had an example of using this in the past in order to create Abula.
Yeah, and I like that was something that was specifically done because it's not just, we're just gonna dial up the hatred levels or whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's
it has to be a tangible,
you take his specific
thing.
feelings and stuff, put them in Adam, and Adam's able to wake up. Cool.
Right.
And the fact that
right.
by extension, while yes, some of the feelings that were there were hatred, it kind of also feels like it gets at the things that I was kind of wondering if they were going to go into, because Gezicht's final moments had like they
tons of emotion.
They were he was musing about hatred, but there was no actual hatred present in him at that moment, right?
Wow.
And yet he had become capable of hatred. That is something that he had learned over the course of his experience. He'd learned a long time ago.
And he remembered it even though it had been forgotten. Basically reminding us the idea that humanity can do what it can to suppress hatred, but it will always be there.
Right.
It'll always be there lurking beneath the surface.
And so then for robots where they don't just forget it, right? Then it's even more important to deal with it. And then that's a way that, it can be an extension to then point at, us as humans and what we can do and things like that.
Right.
But
we got full closure with Gezicht's story by having the full dramatic on-screen reveal of, yes, it was a robot kid. It was the exact same model as the one that was then ended up used to emotionally manipulate him when he went to go visit Abula.
I think it was when they showed it. It was a slightly different model.
But it was basically the same. Visually enough.
Missing the arm and all of that stuff.
It was emotional manipulation of Gezicht.
100%. But one of the things that I loved is that I was expecting that it was going to be something of like that it would be the instigating event or one of the capitulating events for the hatred. After the kid died or was killed, right? In that it's you want the body, I'll give it to you for, this much or whatever, right? No, that's actually how he found this kid,
how he found love, how he found the reason for living.
Right, and that it also started as a happy accident when this life was deemed unfit by, just a random person. And so, they're going to be gotten rid of, which ends up being why they also were killed, right? Oh, they're not a real person. I just need parts to sell for whatever, And so I'll do that, right? And the fact that it started with something so lovely and beautiful that then also is where then the hatred would come from, because it's the
loss.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Then there's the loss. It's the this robot did nothing to anyone, right? And hey, it was this happy miracle for him and his wife, and then all of a sudden
ripped away.
Yeah, and so he kills the dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we had the inferences, we had everything set up in this regard, but to have everything so dramatically displayed, but then to carry through even more so the themes of family, of the fatherhood and sonship angle with Adam and Tenma, the idea then of creator and created. There's so much going in with this. So to have the whole capacity for Adam to basically reach this state where he could then be awakened, but also then save humanity by also then reaching Sahad/Pluto through the same emotional connection that he would only have been capable of had he had this here. Thus, Gezicht then also saving the world by extension. The idea then that there's just so many beautiful themes of this, that while something can be immortal, a robot's memory, the hatred of humanity, the power in emotion and in the soul to connect with another. That passed itself lineage-wise across generations all the way here to where then Adam and by extension Pluto and Sahad could then save us all, despite that exact same thing being the means by which Bora was then capable of this solution that would end humanity and reduce hatred to nothing effectively by... Oh my God.
And one of the things that I absolutely love about that is that it doesn't just hit home the theme of like dealing with hatred and everything.
Right.
It also brings up a whole other theme that I wouldn't even expect to happen with regards to robots in mortality and is there meaning to your existence? Because when we think of robots, it's, but they live forever. Well, clearly not, because they can still be killed. And so
new generations will come out.
And new generations will come out and things like that. Yeah, exactly, right? So they still do die. And so then the question of, is there meaning to my existence, to my life? Well, here we see that we are literally getting the results of where, yes, Gezicht was killed, right? That robot was used to murder him, right? That, like, the fact that it was something that played upon his sympathies in history, that's not just erased, right? Like, his wife is still going to be a widower.
Yeah.
But directly as a result of that, then, oh, hey, Pluto's able to be reached. Adam's able to have the, you know, the equation simplified after it was made so chaotic, right?
Yeah.
That no, there is actually an answer to all of this. And that wouldn't have happened without you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's so unbelievably human.
Yeah.
And yet I was not expecting the show to go into that at all, because it already had so much thematic material to work with.
And it had already kind of explored it a little bit in the story before this, but without being so explicit with it, I guess. So the fact that this finale in some ways kind of pulled back the curtain so much to kind of dramatically like put the whole message of the story so like emphatically in our faces from like 3 or 4 different perspectives here. It just felt so fun, and yet I didn't feel like I was being dragged through the story across the themes or anything. It felt very beautiful and and not slow, but like methodical and
like relaxed
even
though oh my god, the world's about to end, right? Like
that was probably the part that was the most funny and almost maybe the most jarring bit for me, was they very deftly kept running almost too closely into the like the sense of urgency being lost, but that was okay because it was the connection of these beings, these robots, experiencing that loss, that in some ways that shattering of who they are, and then they kind of reform themselves into something of their own will over the course of this episode.
100% to everything that you're saying. And also on top of that, from a mechanical angle, even though it was never stated, it felt at least clear to me that no, they actually can't stop Bora until Bora is at the place.
Right.
Bora's the only one that can survive just hanging out in the mantle, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why Pluto's waiting there, because the only place to stop him now that Bora's descended and is going towards the target zone is when Bora comes up to actually detonate the bomb.
Right.
So, yes, it doesn't really, like, Adam can go around and, you know, talk to Gezicht's wife and, you know, do all of these things because... No, like
we can't do anything.
You can't do anything right now, right? Like it's just okay. Hope you can get ready or whatever. But you know, put your life in order because you know you might be about to die, right?
Right. I do think that there's a really how do I say this? There's a beauty in when a story is crafted from beginning to end with the complete vision already in place. The idea of the Kingdom of Persia desiring to be made into a fertile land.
Yeah.
Because they ended up in an environment where it's desert for the most part. You're limited in what you can do resource-wise. But if you have robots that can stimulate basically
some crazy terraforming
stuff through the latent water deep beneath the earth or what have you. Okay, that's where basically the magic of the story happens, and we have the robot that can start a transformation, a change.
Right.
But the idea that same thing wasn't then violated in what it could do in the story in order to service being some evil thing or what have you. It was doing exactly what it already had planned to do, but it's we have super smart robots. They could just make a bomb.
Right. Like that. Yeah.
That's the part that's the like,
It had nothing to do with like, from the mechanical aspects of why it was difficult to stop, it had to do with the fact that, it's Bora, right? It's able to just go under the mantle and all that stuff, right? But as far as what it was actually going to do, it's not that it had some, you know, hyper beam thing that was going to split the earth, you know, or something like that. No, it's something that not only could a robot do, a human could probably do, right? It might take them longer or whatever, and that's where it gets back to the decision making and things like that, and where, you know, like anti-proton bomb, you know,
that sounds crazy cool, but
that sounds crazy cool and everything.
But we're in a sci-fi universe where
it feels very like in a world where nukes exist
or crazy robot intelligence exists.
No, oh sure, but like even just bringing it back to like our world, right? That is such a like unfathomably terrifying concept of like, you know, there was a point, you know, where enough nukes existed and, you know, quite possibly still, you know, that could totally just do that. You know, if the buttons were pressed, there you go. Right.
Forget that. Like, just the idea of, we have had volcanoes erupt in our actual, you know, on our planet that we know based on the size and, you know, where they used to be, that they were basically near extinction level events that just happened. And some of them weren't, you know, ELEs, but they sure seemed pretty damn close to it, and they were in our human history and stuff. So, like, the idea of putting a nuke in one of them to just be like, let's make sure it's really big. Like, like really big, you know.
There's, you know, totally like that specific one. It's like, there's probably multiple ones more or less like that, but it's this is the convenient one. Its cycle is about right here, and it won't, you know, normally nothing would happen, right? And that's why we're still here. But we can pop that zit, like, you know,
that could happen.
We can make the world just decide to do a little, you know.
Yeah, so moving on from the mechanic side of that, just the idea that the story then focused on the actual interactions between the robots rather than the how is this bomb going to work or anything like that.
Or even the fight between Pluto and Adam, you know, like that was there for a bit, and then it was over with very quickly, you know. And
pacing wise, this just felt really good, and having then the story focus on these connections and stuff just was was really enjoyable. So having then the reveal of Abula being the robot assistant that Tenma created specifically to help make sure that the actual planet forming, terraforming robot could be made. I love that reveal because it's the mix of what was missing in Pluto, basically. We knew that Pluto's father effectively was Abula, but in terms of what that meant mechanically, it was just that, you're a really genius person that had all this pain and stuff, and you're helping make
so you make this perfect robot.
Right.
But no, it's actually that you are a robot, and you don't even realize it yourself because you lie to yourself because you're a perfect robot. You can do that, which I love so much.
And so you give of yourself, your hatred, who you are, to this other robot here, this robot that desires beauty, this robot that desires all these things, thinking that, I will then get something that will actually be perfect, but you yourself were never meant to meant to do that. And that's the failing of Tenma, if you will.
Sure. And yet at the same time, how beautiful is it that even though this line is ended because Pluto / Sahad sacrificed themselves to stop Bora, the idea that it's can we make a perfect robot that effectively would be a person, right? We did. To the degree that this robot, you know, deceives themselves into thinking that they're human, but also the fact that, like, it's also born from the hatred and the violence and things like that, and is still able to then create a progeny, offspring, etc. in Sahad.
Sahad was a robot just independent. Sahad wasn't created by them. Pluto was created. Sahad was the mixture. Sahad was added to the mixture of Abula's hatred in Pluto and stuff. Those are two robots basically mixed together.
No. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, Sahad had the hatred, you know, put in order to make them Pluto.
Right.
Yeah. No, I got that.
Yeah.
But Sahad as a robot was created by Abula, weren't they? Whether robot Abula or, you know, human Abula or whatever, and because Abula thought that
I think you're right. Then.
Because now we didn't get too much of the internal perspectives of Abula, and that's probably also why it's a twist for us as well, because otherwise it'd probably be a lot easier to tell that Abula is deceiving themselves, right? But the idea that, you know, Abula was treating Sahad as a son, right? And doing, you know, that whole, like, manipulative thing and all that stuff. But, like, the idea that in the midst of that manipulation and, you know, abuse and everything that was happening from Abula to Sahad, Sahad was still able to do something beautiful, right?
Right. So the lie worked enough that actually something beautiful was created.
Exactly.
In Sahad,
And that is like one of the most hopeful things I can think of, you know, with regards to the whole question of robots and are they actual people. You have the actual like first instance of the passing on of the torch, where you have a perfect robot that is able to lie and do all of that stuff. Then you have the offspring, you know, quote unquote, that also is able to do all of that stuff and make decisions for themselves. It is a negative relationship, right? It's specifically one where it's the I'm going to use you and abuse you and everything,
and put you in a trap.
That whole fucked up situation. Yeah. And still from that,
right,
something good is able to come.
That's
right?
the point. Is that it's nothing that there's anything good. It's that no, Pluto then chose that's independent. That's why I like the idea that Tenma and Abula didn't make them this way. There's a beauty in that Abula meant for this to go one way. Tenma meant for this to go one way, and they ended up choosing differently. Like there's a
Sahad / Pluto.
Yeah, and Adam as well, basically. Like
right. Yeah.
And I think that there's something to give the credit to them versus the credit to the creators.
No, totally. I'm not talking about it from give credit to no. That's not what I'm getting at. But the idea from the beautiful poetry and like the humanity that is present, despite the fact that we're talking about, you know, robots here, like that is something that I think is just absolutely magical with how it's set up in the story, right? It's the, you know, night is darkest just before the dawn. It's the, you know, like in spite of all of the, you know, efforts of the world and the individuals at play and things like that, to make this be a situation where we would expect it to just go badly. Oh, hey, we're able to get something, you know, something out of it that is not defined by that escapes it. And I think that's really cool. Because like with Adam has the test of being introduced to Gezicht's hatred and everything, but Gezicht also kind of had largely figured that out before he died, right? So it's not as much of an overcoming of struggle in my mind with Adam as it is for Pluto / Thahad. And so that's why I really love the way that that's set up. Because
I would say it's the exact same, because Tenma introduced that stuff to Pluto, to Adam, that specifically to get him to wake up. But then Adam just goes through it all in basically an episode for the sake of mostly the narrative. But they go through essentially the same emotional turmoil with it, other than the fact that maybe because Adam is so much more advanced, he's able to, you know, overcome that as well. But they're direct thematic parallels for each other, and
100%. I'm not. I'm not arguing that point.
Okay. Well, I was just saying you were comparing that one struggled more than the other, and I was just...
Oh, I would, and I still abide by that, right? Like it's the Adam was the person, you know, to forget that they're robots for a second. Adam is the person that had the comfortable upbringing that then, as a result of the stuff that happens, gets to see things from the other perspective, right? And of course, it's a huge struggle all on their own because that's not something that they're used to, right? And they're able to overcome it. Awesome. And then also from the other situation where you have the individual that is set up to fail, right? That is set up to not overcome this thing, right? No, they're still able to, right? And it's because of a lot of reasons, you know, their own decisions and, you know, and things like that, and the help that they get from other people, you know, the Uran, you know, thank you. I liked, you know, painting those flowers with you, right?
Right.
Like, and I think that's just awesome. But.
Yeah, I put it to me as that it's that they were the same. They came from the same basic kind of point of being made to be the perfect sons for these fucked up fathers. End up going through the same struggle, regardless of who struggled more. I think that the point is that they each come to the realization that they have something that crosses over with each other when they meet finally, and then it's the... Okay.
Right, hence the connection, yeah.
Right.
In the midst of the violence and the fighting and all that stuff, it's our tears run the same.
Right, and in a lot of ways, I find it to just to be really, really beautiful that the story gives the choice and stuff and the moment of them doing this almost to each of them individually.
Yeah.
Not a point of something that came from who they are or where they came from or
no, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, really, really exciting to have also a finale set piece for, a dramatic conclusion here while we've got all these emotional, quiet, intimate little stories going on as well. Because I think that I didn't ever really worry too much about the dramatic set piece being one that was actually going to happen, like prediction wise, like from a meta perspective. The themes were ringing true that we were going to have a hopeful resolution for humanity here.
Right, like we kind of forgot that, like, oh yeah, no, it would make sense for Pluto and Adam to fight before they end up teaming up, because that's where the story actually like left off, because we're so like, but of course this is going to happen, right? This is what's being set up, and it's
right.
Yeah.
But then the focus going to Adam to then kind of having these little resolutions that he has for his character, like going to Helena, lying to her. I thought it was that Adam was going to sacrifice himself. This
right,
was
that's
going
what he's
to be,
preparing for.
Well, that's what he's preparing for here. But the fact then that Pluto is here, Sahad is here, waiting, with none of his destructive power being activated, none of his stuff being here that he actually really wants to fight even. I like that in that respect. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to make the comparison about them struggling more or less or what have you, because it feels like almost that Pluto won the struggle before even Adam did fully. Like he was coming here with his hatred to kill Pluto for what he did to the other robots and stuff. Like he does the vengeance thing of like listing off, you killed this person, you know their memories and stuff like that, and he uses the hatred basically to win here.
While Pluto is actively not doing the full hatred thing because the tornado wasn't there and things like that.
Right, but it's almost like there was like a parallel of his own father in that regard, that he doesn't even realize why he's not doing it. Like if he was trying to fight, which it does seem like once they start fighting, he's actually trying to win the fight and stuff, and that he isn't using his full power. He isn't using that kind of stuff. The tears come and he doesn't know actually why that is. It's just, I don't know. It just felt really cool to see him like, I don't know, choose that.
Have that be something where it's present throughout, so that it's not just a convenient about face turn on a dime, because that's what's going to happen in the story. Because if you do that, while the decision is absolutely built up to over the course of the journey, you don't want to make the fight beforehand that does still need to happen feel like it overwrites all of the buildup that made it so that the decision will make sense, right? Like you don't want to suddenly retroactively be like, but they're not thinking about any of that right now just because we want a spectacle, you know, which also in having it go this way, this also gives a nice mechanical reason in universe for why Adam is actually able to defeat Pluto, not just because he is fully, realized and, has attained apotheosis or whatever, but because also, no, Pluto is not actively fighting at the degree that they could. And so as a result of that, the thing where, all of the previous super advanced robots were,
begging Adam to stop.
Well, sure, but also had come before you and all of them were defeated, right? That it's both Adam's realization that caused him to be able to win and win in the true sense, right? Not just in the killing Pluto, but also the fact that that battle had been won, or progress had been made on it with
progress
Pluto.
Had been made. It wasn't subverted for the sake of some kind of dramatic finale.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the weapon that Adam had that, is stronger than any tornado, than any, extendable horns or,
Right. And yet he was about to kill Pluto. Like he actually was about to do it. That's kind of like my thing with this, is that Pluto was actively struggling. Adam was actively struggling all the way until the end, especially once he went all red-eyed and was like, "No, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do this here."
Right. These are all their names. Like it's the not just like mindless hatred thing. It's like the no. There is a purpose to this.
There's a choice here,
right?
yeah.
Like in the same way that Gezicht very much had a reason to kill the person who murdered his child and so many others, right? It's not just blind hatred. There's a level of like present methodical,
and we need to stare that in the face. I think that's the story basically being like, look at your hero, look at your main character, your main characters.
Yeah.
This is what is born of hatred here. This is what it comes of it, is a cold, methodical, direct decision of, I'm going to, in some ways, let this take sway in me. And that's the choice.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like it's very easy to get anger and hatred mixed up.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, no. They never say anger here, right? Like, we've talked about anger previously in this show, you know, but they're talking about hatred. You know,
hatred is the slow raising of the gun as Gezicht pulls up the thing there. And he's making the decision the whole way through. And I just love that idea that these characters, the robots here, were in some ways making the decision to use hatred. Like, and if hatred is a thing that consumes you and is unable to be fully killed, it's this immortal thing that just grabs a hold and slowly squeezes the life out of you. The idea to have the characters actively decide to channel it for the sake of power or just the ability to overcome a struggle or something like that, I feel like is a fun testament in that we can sometimes need something that actually will be giving us the capacity to overcome a great obstacle, like, you know, Kingdom of Persia in this case, then having this overwhelming, you know, sorrow and pain and loss of having their nation wiped out, basically.
Yep.
And then that pain, loss, then has them turn to hatred of, we need to basically bring this back. We can't just...
Yeah, we're going to take the thing that we, you know, designed with the best, like, absolute best of intentions and never, you know, and now we're going to specifically use that in order to get our vengeance. Yeah. Like, it's, yeah.
It's a terrifying thing, I think, to look at what hatred is as a human trait, as a human emotion or something, and go, why do we have this? What is the use of this?
Right, because it does serve a purpose, right?
It does actually serve a purpose.
It helped Adam defeat Pluto, right?
And if he hadn't defeated Pluto,
then
right, the world wouldn't.
You know,
would have ended.
It's great that Pluto got to a point where, you know, they didn't use the tornado, and eventually, you know, the tears come and all that stuff. But
that notwithstanding,
your personal timeline for how you deal with your own self-actualization is not my problem when you're actively causing problems for everybody else.
Right.
You know, and so sorry, buddy. You know, like if you know, that's where it's the optimistic and hopeful angle is that because Pluto was able to be reached, Adam didn't have to kill him.
Yes.
Adam still could have killed Pluto.
Yes.
And had it not be a thing of hatred.
Right.
Right. That would have been very difficult, but that could have happened.
Yes.
Right. Because it's still but the world's about to end, right? That's kind of, I'm sorry, that takes top priority.
If you're going to keep me from going to Bora to stop everything, then I will have to make the cold decision here.
You're right.
And it won't be of hatred, like you're saying, because, you know, the other remaining, or the past robots of the seven or what have you, were able to reach Adam in a really beautiful way, almost through
across
Pluto.
time, and you know,
Well, right, but like specifically almost through Pluto, and a lot of it's given the whole thematic thing of Pluto being the bearer,
the guardian
of the
dead, keeper of the dead, and
so that just felt really fun to have a cliche be used in this way.
Oh yes,
but one that then leads to Pluto, I think, also feeling those, you know, in the mechanics of the story, the AI energy waves that they use to telepathically communicate coming probably from within, and it's this is my emotion. Right. What is this?
Yeah.
Where is this coming from?
And like the
and then having it also show up as tears, you know, which is like there's no reason that makes sense at all.
We've previously established for someone like Adam where it's the I'm built to be very lifelike and everything, you know, and so yes, I can also cry because sure, you know, for something like Pluto, doesn't make quite as much sense, but
it's a decision for visualization.
Yeah, the visual impact is absolutely there. Yeah. And I'm a sucker for the, you know, character starts crying, or the tears are flowing, but they don't understand. Like, they're not even actively crying. The tears are just, flowing.
They're more just moaning in anguish.
Well, no, not even that. And then their mind is like catching up to their body that already kind of understands.
I see what you're saying.
And they're trying to understand it up here, and they can't. They're like, wait, like, and even Adam, he just. And it's so highlighted, like it could totally end up being cheesy, but because of how the show crafts it and everything, it's not. Adam just spent time being like, I'm gonna drop the schematics for an anti-proton bomb, right? In like a few minutes. The processing power of Adam is not lacking.
No.
Right? That's very strongly established. I don't get it. Like it's such a wonderful just contrast and dichotomy, and I absolutely adore it. And then the fact that in the middle of that, as they both are unable to process, then that's where they find the connection. And after that, because of how things are mechanically set up, with the fact that Bora has to actually get to this location, they can't interfere until Bora's there.
Right.
They get time to just lie there and look at the stars.
I love that.
That was fucking incredible.
The fact that we kind of had we can set up an arbitrary amount of time for Bora to get there. We can set up we can't do anything until Bora gets there, and then have the sense of urgency be subverted very much so for the sake of a character moment like this. I absolutely will take it 100%.
Oh yeah.
I don't think most people watching this story
would be lost on
be lost on that because of now my urgency is gone. It's like, did you think there was any urgency?
Right,
really?
and they, exactly.
It's more just who we're going to lose. We're just worried about who's getting sacrificed probably in this great heroic act.
They don't overtly state that, no, we're not in danger right now, because that would more actively undercut the tension. But we still see the people talking every once in a while, he's making his way there. He's making his way there. So, it's you don't need to tell us that Bora's not here yet.
I'm doing this more for them. So with this here, I love then that Sahad's desire ends up being the thing that comes out here the most, and that's something that I really love, because obviously this show is named Pluto, but the fact that it's Pluto's sacrifice, not Adam's, works wonders for me. This is the main thing that I really wanted out of the story. I've been waiting for this for a while, is the ways in which Sahad or Pluto would take in some ways and manage the fallen, take the sorrow, if you will, and bear it, and thus the sacrifice ends the line of hatred, if you will, in the literal mechanical sense that Abula, the perfect robot, was also created by human hatred. That's the fusion of human and robot that created the perfect AI. But the idea that because that piece then ended up going out to all these other robots, but now all of them except Adam basically are dead, the line of hatred introduced into robots specifically, and even in a fun way here, the reveal that Brow never had any hatred. Never really had any hatred.
And that's what I.
Brow was just a normal robot.
Yeah,
Brow was nobody in that regard, and that's why. And then he ends up being the one to kill the AI Skynet kind of deal within the Thracia,
and that informs so much of all of these sort of not tongue in cheek, but and not bitter, but the just poking that he does whenever anyone comes to visit him, because it's the whole society is in denial of what happened. Right? Like it's I killed somebody.
I'm your pariah. Cool.
Okay, cool. I'm the heel for humanity. You know, right? Like, all right.
And that makes you feel better. I don't give a fuck.
But like, come on, it's a sick joke. It's a house of cards. It's when are you gonna wake up and smell the roses?
You remember that robot war that just happened? Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Funny joke, right? You know? And so
it really does feel actually a lot like Watchmen in that regard, and that it's the happy man who's one of the worst of them is just kind of laughing once he realizes basically
how fucked everything is,
the sad joke of everything, and Brow is basically that in that regard,
and then it's
and had to be sacrificed for it,
and so then it's the very one who is the pariah, all of this stuff, and done in an unjust way, even though they did, kill somebody, but
yes.
it's, that all that stuff. Then it's okay, now I'm going to trust you,
right?
Set you free, give, and now go and save everybody. Like the fact that the teddy bear, AI, robot, and that the whole imagery of that, of course, is beautiful, and what it means for the president, all that stuff, and the fact that he's willingly like, oh yeah, just a teddy bear. What does it mean that it's deciding to have it be a teddy bear? Like, that's fine, it's cute, whatever.
It's it's humans need something to relate to.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes you feel safe.
Then it's Brow is going to be the one to set things right and effectively save everyone, because Teddy Bear Robot wasn't truly concerned when Adam came back. It's well, that's boring. It's like, come on.
It'll set me back a while.
Yeah, it'll set me back a while, but I'm still gonna be fine.
I manipulated all of these things in order to set up the reasons why the 7 would all be dead, so that we could then, you would rule. Yes, exactly.
Right. Me telling the president that he'll be my slave might mean that I might have to, do some cleanup here, but
cleanup was gonna happen. 90% of
right. But even with the 90% thing being stopped, it's this is still manageable. The fact that it actually revealed its hand to somebody in a position of political power. When it doesn't have an appendage that could actively kill the president for it or something.
That's the reason why, is that we established that in the very beginning of the episode to make the point that this thing had already manipulated so many variables to create a situation where there would be none of the 7.
Right.
And so it's I've won. Now we just wait. It's going to take about a week. Cool. I win in a week. And so you're going to talk. No. Yeah. It doesn't matter what you do.
Right.
You cannot stop Bora. So the fact then that Pluto and Adam together, I guess, stop Bora. It's
okay, I guess it's been rescheduled, right? And then Brow shows up, and it's goes to kill the president, and it's like, oh, okay, that was some very
bit of that reckless, just excitement for Brow, just to be able to be like, I remember what this was like. I can now do this again.
Which is great, because the fact that Brow was given the freedom to kill an innocent, and I would just say, Brow wasn't exactly quick, so I imagine Brow killed actually a lot of innocents to get there.
We don't know. It doesn't really change the story in any way to go into that.
But then here is the freedom to do this that Brow has been given,
showing that when he doesn't do it, he doesn't have hatred.
He doesn't have hatred.
No,
but that
he's just a robot that has what robots all have.
But that it was an actual decision on Brow's part to do that or to not do that, because if not for making that decision, he totally would have. He totally would have strangled that guy.
I would love to know if there's some exposition that the manga has regarding some of the things that clearly are more behind the scenes kind of world building stuff that might slow the story down, because I feel like there's a couple things about Brow that could be exposited but would be more kind of boring textbook stuff.
Certainly wouldn't fit in the finale.
Well, obviously not the finale, but I meant the setup of Brow as a character in general. So I love that by removing that, it draws focus even more to the sham of robots being incapable of harming others,
and also another way to think about it, the thing that caused Brow to realize, no, I'm not going to do this, was the weakness of the president. Right. Physically frail, warm and weak. Okay, I think I get it.
The way in which he tapped into Adam and connected with him in that moment as well,
And then there's the big robot. The big robot is like, I'm so in control because, you weak little ants scurry about, you're going to be gone soon. And then Brow, 90% destroyed from the ground, is like, fuck you, right? That's such a
that's such a human
that's such a human thing.
No. Did you just use the God word? Did you just
what's a god to a non-believer?
What's a god to a non-believer?
Yeah.
I'm gonna inject you with some fucked up shit in my programming that's contained within this sphere. Who the fuck cares what
however
that is?
It works.
However it works.
Yeah.
You're dead. It's over.
Yep,
and
it's
then
done.
Eventually the humans come and they see Brow doing Brow things and they destroy me.
Sure.
I don't care. I did my part.
Brow just starts singing "You're welcome," right? And then it's like, I don't know why he's doing that.
So the end is near.
Yeah.
So I face.
Oh man.
But I just love it. And then all the characters that sacrificed, all the characters that were able to move on from this, and then all the characters that failed. I like that Tenma has to live basically with realizing his faults as the, if you will, because he's in a weird place in the story. He's supposedly the apex of human creativity, and he couldn't make the perfect robot. He needed, help. He needed an AI in some ways to help him do that.
Sure.
And then he also needed something that he maybe didn't account for yet.
Or right, the external environmental things that happened that then,
forced the acceleration of
the whole hatred thing. That's he didn't actually make that he knew that that's kind of what was needed, but it was actually Abula that was like, I'm going to give you the thing so that you can mechanically do that, and which is especially funny given that we had Tenma actually go in and reset every one of the neurons effectively in Adam to make it so that he could come back.
So this was even possible, yeah.
Right. And yet the hatred thing was something that he was either unwilling or incapable of doing. And yet, here we go.
Here we go. And then, of course, just having the beautiful imagery of Sahad's flowers being born upon the sky. That's just beautiful. I also loved that they randomly went into the little science lesson to be like, yo,
this actually
there's a reason why the magma eruption did happen, but it actually
was stopped
because of a fusion of these two metals. So again, the combination of the two.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The
hatred and the sorrow.
Exactly.
The two robots coming to one. The two minds in the one being.
Yep. It's absolutely beautiful. Like with a show like this that has such an involved world and characters and things like that. Even though it's only 8 episodes, they're big and meaty episodes.
Yeah.
One of the things that we you mentioned at the end is you were like, oh yeah, no epilogue, but I'm not even I'm not even bothered by that. Like this would be the kind of show where I could totally have seen an epilogue being awesome. They didn't do it, and they didn't need it.
No.
Which is I don't know. I feel like that is just another way to showcase how fantastic this ending was, in that there was no, final reflection that we needed, because it's all right there in the events that are happening.
Yeah. And then also the little thing here of Pluto's imagery with regards to how he looks, then being the same as the kid robot.
Yes.
Of Gezicht's at the end there, when he's missing the arm, missing the eye.
Right. Yeah. The part of the face that's broken and all that stuff.
Let me find the exact part here where Ali.
Exactly.
The exact same side of the face. I guess it is a different arm that's missing, but there was something.
That's why you were saying it was the same model. I was looking at the outer shell.
You're looking at the shell, but the internals
are the same. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And that's why it needed to be broken in that regard in order for it to kind of pop out and be shown. But the broken robots, the imperfections then being the thing that allowed them to connect across all these penalties. And there's just so much you can get into.
Another thing that I just want to mention, because in the going back through it, we focused on the bit of where, Tenma's being brought down by Abula and stuff. I love that the thing that is introduced in the finale that traditionally would introduce a level of tension over something that we know is not actually going to happen. Tenma's, we're not actually worried about him. He's not in any actual danger.
And also, we're not emotionally as tied to his survival in the story.
Yeah, exactly, right? That doesn't end up being something where, we need to care about that, because while it's something that Abula does because it's something that he wants to do, not only does that get undercut, but it is also the way in which we actually get a really awesome reveal.
Right.
I just, that's great.
Yeah. And then also him getting brought here, shifting the balance of power when he's being like almost like berated and like not interrogated, but kind of talked down to by Abula, then shifting as he starts to begin to talk down to him as he realizes the truth. Then having Bora, the creation that he never fully realized how far it would go, then staring down at him.
Yep.
Almost as if there's this constant shifting of judgment. I love dynamics like that in stories where you have people like talking down to then realizing that the one that you were talking down to is now talking down to you,
and the idea
that
this reveal also eliminated the unnecessary character of Goji, both from the secrets of what happened, but also the mechanically of wait, there are all these robots that are getting like manipulated and stuff, and Abula is not a robot, so he can't be the one doing that. So there's this other robot that's helping him that is Goji, but then it's helpful
it all collapsed into the story and simplified it into one character.
Exactly. It was helpful in the story for all these robots to be manipulated, and yet along the way it's like, well, hang on, this feels a little convenient. No, yes, it is convenient because it's related to a very important twist. It's actually
connected to Tenma,
connected to Tenma, but also connected to like why this story is happening in the first place.
At all, yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah. I could rewatch this show, absolutely, and I'm probably going to rewatch it immediately in the dub, because I heard ProZD plays Brow 1589. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know, especially now that he got this really cool part at the end of the show here. But
yeah.
Okay, that's it. This was a monument to anime, and I'm so glad that this story got animated and got animated just so well. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully we, in our own kind of advent of AI doing its own thing here, end up, figuring out the way how to steward it properly.
Well, you got to bring up a downer at the end of an awesome conversation like this.
I don't know. I'm a little bit hopeful. I don't need an epilogue,
No, yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
But oh man, that was awesome.
Awesome show.
That was so good.
Fantastic anime.
This is.
I know a lot of people I need to share this show with.
Yes, and I, probably one of the first things I'm going to do with my free time today is I'm gonna be like, all right, what's a Droid or Warforged type character that I can just do to try and capture some of the awesomeness of Brow and
in a TTRPG.
In a TTRPG and introduce it in a campaign where nobody's seen Pluto and just be like,
there you go. Yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. That's the end of the show. If you want to see other shows, other things like that, if you want to see full-length timer version of this reaction and stuff like that, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.